Well, this is what I've been doing all morning. I've been grinding the crap out of the deck, and I tell you, it is everywhere. I'm trying to level out that. As you remember, I put down a layer of CSM and then a couple layers of that little 6-ounce woven, and what I'm trying to do is I'm leveling out all the high spots to make it nice and smooth, so that way when I put the Duraback down it doesn't look like hills and valleys, that type of thing. So I've gone through 6 belts on my belt sander, and I'm now out. And I'll tell you guys, if you've got a, I forget the name of the place, it's not Northern Tool, Harbor Freight Company. They sell this thing, which is a, it costs about $22 belt sander. Uses 3-inch by 21-inch belts, and I tell you, it has done the best thing in the world as far as being able to take things down, and you know, it's pretty much expendable with all this fiberglass dust that's going to get into it. It's loud though. You got to wear ear protection, man. I tell you, I've used it for about 10 minutes without ear protection, and it just killed me. So I had to go put some earplugs in. But and then I took my grinder right there with a 36 grit paddle wheel and went around all around the edges where that little belt sander can't get, and you know, took all the little, you know, boogers and nubs and stuff down to pretty much flat, and you can see how much dust is around here. And I've actually vacuumed at least 4 times already. Had to empty it out because the poor thing got completely clogged up. But I'm now out of belts, and I've got all the edges done, so I need to run back up to Lowe's and get some more belts. So I'm gonna get some more 36 grit and a couple of 80s to finish, you know, sanding this down. And then I'm going to take about 2 quarts of the poly resin again and just kind of spread it over the deck again to make a nice smooth surface, and then resand that to give it a nice flat, even edge. And of course I need to take and completely blow everything out. I had an epiphany last night. I have an old subwoofer that came out of an old car of mine, a little JBL sub in a little pre-made box, and that little spot underneath there is absolutely perfect for it. All I got to do is find an amplifier, and we got a pretty good little radio. Came with I think it's an Alpine, with Alpine. You can see the speakers over here in the front. So those are Alpine 6x9s in the front, and then the other 6.5s are back here in the little cutout right there. But off to Lowe's I go. I'll update you later on how things came out. I'll probably get the deck re-squeegeed or new application on today, and then resand it, and it should be ready for Duraback, you know, pretty darn quick. Well, after 2.5 solid hours of grinding and sanding, I think the deck is finally finished. It is, I've got a couple of shiny spots I'm actually going to fill in with some poly just to kind of, you know, level it out. I have one really deep where I found a hole, and I'm glad I was sanding it down, but that's probably an eighth of an inch thick right there. So I'm going to mix up a little batch and put that on there, but I have roughed everything up all the way around, made it nice and smooth. Or I say smooth, it's still got a good key to it, so I can put down the Duraback. And once I put down a little bit more of that, the poly, I'll rough that up too. And then supposedly they say to wipe this down with xylene, not acetone. They said do not use acetone. So I'm going to wipe down. I'll go get a quart of the xylene, wipe it down really good, and then start putting down the Duraback. As soon as I get it in, I think I'm going to go with gray. Order it tomorrow, and it'll be in midweek and get it taken care of. But for the rest of today, I'm going to wipe this out again, and I got a couple little boogers I need to sand down on the back of this, make it nice and smooth. I'm going to put another coat of Rust-Oleum down. I'm going to call it a day. Anybody say peanut butter? This is poly mixed in with that like silica filler. I'm going to use it to kind of fill in these little spots right here. Put it on here. Use it to fill in this low spot. sand it down later. I guess it's sort of like using Bondo. I think I mixed this too hot. Only got a couple of spots so to do. This one right here from the transition from my patch to the rest of the boat. I'm just going to fill this in and spread it out here in a minute. This is really hard doing with one hand, but I guess this is an instructional video. I'll take my little yellow guy here and just spread it out, and I just got it on my fingers. That's going to burn. I think that might be, oh, we got a little spot right here too. Alright, spread that out, make sure it's in there really good. Alright, let's see, where else? Let's just make sure we got another good little pookie right here. Spread it out really good. You go messing with it too much and you pull it up. This stuff is nasty. If I never have to see this poly again, or fiberglass, it's way too soon. I'm so tired of dealing with it. Alright, so where else? Oh, there's a spot right there. Just put some in there. And a little bit right there. And we'll spread it out. I think that'll get some good fill in the holes where the Duraback will for sure stick to it nicely, and scrape any of this leftover stuff off so it doesn't leave a high spot. That's about it. Alright, well, I think that's it for the little holes that I needed to patch. Everything else is pretty much ready to go. So we'll let this kick off and I'll sand it back down. Guess now also I sanded down the little high spots back here. I'm going to get back here and paint a little bit of Rust-Oleum. I had to shut the garage door and get the 2 heaters going because, man, the sun kind of started going down, and I tell you, it got a little chilly in here, and I just put down that resin and it ain't gonna kick unless I keep it warm. So, but here's kind of a wide view of all the little holes that I put the peanut butter in to kind of fill a little low spot so it doesn't look like crap whenever I put down the Duraback. And I did a boo-boo. I got resin on my good camcorder. I'm going to be in deep crap if I can't get it off from the wife. She is not going to like that. So, anyway, there's a wide view. See how many, there wasn't too many little holes. The main thing was the transition up there I didn't want to see. The rest of it was just being nitpicky.